All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream here on English. As always, I will be your host. My name is Hamza, as you can see right here on my name tag. My name is Hamza, and I am your host as always on live streams in English. English is basically a channel dedicated to learning English through stories. We believe that the best way to learn English or any language is to learn the words in context, not isolated. So that's why we believe the best context where you can see and meet the words for the first time and also like remember their meaning is when you read them in stories. Stories tend to be very engaging and very like interesting for people. So when you see a word in a story, most of the time you will remember it more. So that's why we like focus on sharing stories. We share one story every single day. Our stories are like 2 hours long, 1 hour. You can listen to them whatever you are doing, whether you are driving or you are just chilling, or maybe you are cleaning the house. So you can listen to them while you are doing your chores. At the same time, if you want to focus with the story, you can read the story. We have the text for you. We will show you this later on. And today we are going to have a live stream. We have two live streams every week, and one of them you are watching it right now. This live stream is a listening live stream. Let me share with you like the little image. So this is a listening live stream, and it will be about a topic that we started last time, which is the Wright brothers. Let me see if I can. Okay, yes, the Wright brothers. So the Wright brothers. Yeah, very interesting topic. We started it last Tuesday, and today we are going to see the second part of it. So, as I said, today is a listening live stream. Don't forget, of course, to like this video, share it if you would love to share it with someone, and of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. My friend Asanol is here. Asanol, welcome. I hope you are doing great. How was your week? And the same goes for all of you. How was your week? Can you tell me in the chat how was your week, guys? Mine was very tiring, but I really liked it. It was a very good week. I had a lot of walks. It was quite productive actually this week. So, what about you guys? How was your week? Was it a nice one, a good one, a productive one, a slow one? Tell me in the chat. Maybe you can use one adjective. Excellent, very good. This is what I really like to know. Sigelberto, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Excellent as always. I'm very proud, and I think you are a new follower of us because I've seen you last time and I remember you. So thank you for following. Thank you for being here again. It was very bad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope everything is okay. But again, if a week is bad, if a day is bad, it's just that. It's a bad day or a bad week. It's not about you. It's just a week. It's just a bad day, of course. You understand? So it's not all our weeks, not all our days will be great, fantastic, like smooth sailing. Sometimes we will have a bad day. We'll have ups and downs. So just accept it was a bad week. All right, leave it behind you and look forward to another amazing week. What about you guys watching? How was your week? Was it excellent, like Gilberto, or was it bad, like Arsenal? Jeremy, how are you been up to? Well, I'm good and nothing much. Like it was just work this week. Thank you for asking, Jeremy. Where are you joining us from? Which country? Happens. Made my join boxing classes. Oh, cool, cool. This week, sometimes happen which made me join. Ah, okay. Okay, all right. I see, man. Well, I hope you beat someone up. Just don't go to jail, man. Don't go to jail. On myself, I do kickboxing, and most of the time, I just avoid fights. To be honest, I avoid fights because it's just like uh, a lot of trouble comes from fighting. It's just like chillax and like just forget about everything. Yeah, so don't look for trouble, my man. Don't look for trouble. But for me, I stopped kickboxing. Actually, I stopped it since COVID-19 because since the gym stops and stuff, I had to look, and I'm planning to go back. So maybe me and you, as an all, can have like a little sparring one day. Don't you think? Would you love to have like a little sparring, just friendly one, and of course, don't beat me up. I'm your teacher, of course. All right. So, how was your week, everybody? That was the question that I asked in the beginning of the live stream. Uh, yeah, yeah, I do. I do. I've done kickboxing for like 6 or 7 years. It's look. This is like a little piece of advice for everybody. Learn how to defend yourself, but don't use that in the street. Don't use that. Don't fight with everyone. Like it's a lot of trouble. Maybe one day you will beat someone up and something will happen to them and you will end up going to jail or something. So chill, man. There is nothing worth fighting for. Arsenal, nothing worth fighting for. But still, stay in your boxing classes. You will really love them. They will like help you. Uh, yeah, sure, sure. I beat him by you. No, no, no. I'm afraid you will beat me, man. I'm afraid you will beat me. All right. So yeah, yes. Today we'll continue talking. But I would really love to have like a little sparring with you. I always love to spar with my friends. The Wright brothers. So there is an airplane. Do you know anything about these two guys, the Wright brothers? All right, let's see. Last time we talked about them, and let me remind you of what they did. So you guys will remind me of what they did through this little exercise. The Wright brothers flew the first airplane, were the first to try flying, or made the first engine. You know, engine is what cars work with. What do you think? Is it A, B, or C? Oh, wow, man. 300, that's too much. I don't think I've ever done 300 push ups. Sanol, you were here last time. You were here last time. Flew the first airplane, were the first to try flying at all, made the first engine. But I really miss fighting, to be honest. I miss kickbox. I mean, like the gym sessions, not actual fighting. Hey, okay, that's an all good job. You changed your mind in the end. I see more people like joining the live stream. You can try to like yes, all right, all of them. No, not really. Gilberto, not really. Pamela, hey Pamela, you came on time today because we have just started. This is the first question I asked. So you came on time today. Very proud of you, Pamela. By the way, I will ask you the same question that I asked them, Pamela. How was your week? This is the end of the week. How was your week? Okay. I'm strictly from Tongo. From Togo. Yeah, West Africa. Welcome. Me too. I am from West Africa. I'm from West North Africa, from Morocco. Okay, let's check. Yes, they flew the first airplane. Okay, so basically, they were not the first to try flying because flying was already tried a lot of times before. A lot of people tried to fly or thought about flying. One of them was Da Vinci. I think I showed you his idea. So they were not the first people to try flying, but they were the first people to build an airplane and make it fly. All right. The third one make the first engine. Of course, the engine was already invented in the 19th century back then. So they were the first people to build an airplane. Where did they get the idea from? What inspired them? Was it a bird? Like they were watching birds and they said, "Well, I would love to fly like this bird." It was a story that they read once in a book, or a toy that they got at a certain time. What do you guys think? A and C. B. A story they read. B, is it this one, right? Or the previous one, C. Gilberto? I would love more people to participate in the chat. Or as I always say, sleep with one eye open. C. C. Gilberto is playing it safe. He always answers all the questions. And of course, one of them is correct. I know you're trick man. Come on, I see more people. I see 16 people watching, and I want 16 answers in the chat. So come on, make like be a little bit brave. Don't be shy. Don't let your shyness beat you. ABC is something from them, of course. It's something on the screen, basically, right? I think 100% the answer is on the screen. That's what you're saying, Asalon, right now. It's one of the three choices that you gave us. Of course, it's one of the three choices. A, Android. Hey, welcome, by the way. Welcome. How are you? I remember you. You are a very active member. Great. So we are seeing more people building the courage to answer in the chat. So I need more people. 19 people watching now, and I want 19 answers in the chat. Come on, people. Build up your courage. Write one letter, A, B, or C. That's all I'm asking for. This is language learning. Language learning. You need to write. You need to speak. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking, Android. Thank you. I'm gonna reveal the answer, but the next questions you guys need to try and answering. It's a toy that they got. By the way, this is a listening live stream, okay? So now we are just preparing because I want to give you the text directly to listen to. I want to prepare you a little bit. So this is why we are listening to this. So basically, we are talking about the Wright brothers. They were two brothers who were the first people to build an airplane and fly it, make it fly. Where did they get the idea? It was a toy that they got when they were little kids. So when they were little kids, their father gave them a toy, and that toy inspired them to build an airplane later on. Do you want to see the airplane that they got, the toy that they got? It was this toy. So they had this toy when they were kids, and it amazed them. It amazed them, okay? It amazed them. So they wanted to build a bigger and the real one where they could, and they did that. Their mother, so let's see the people who were like important in their life. Their mother was indifferent. She did not care what they were doing, what they wanted to do. She was very supportive, or she was dead. What do you think about their mother? Because sometimes parents are important. Be supportive. As says, be supportive. Sorry, I have a bad cough, so sorry for that. B, Gilberto. Yes, she was very supportive, absolutely. And that was very important in their life. This one, we did not see it, but maybe we'll see it today. When did they first fly? So when did first airplane ever take off from the land in human history? 1903. This is how we read these numbers, by the way. 1903, 1899, or 1910. So basically, in English, you read two words, or two numbers, two, right? So 1903, 1899, 1910. Which one do you think? A, B, or C? Maybe we did not see this one. You can just like Anusha, all right. B, maybe this is the previous one. A for Asanol, or maybe this one. It was this one. I'm not sure. Where are you from, by the way? What are you from? Oh, nice, nice. I see an airplane on your avatar. I see an airplane on your picture. That's exactly the theme of this live stream. So you will really love it if you like airplanes. Like C. Gilberto, I remember I've seen like a comment by you, man, and you said that you really loved the topic. So you are welcome. I'm glad there are people who are enjoying the topic that we are choosing. We are choosing for them. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it was 1903, actually. It was 1903. What did they build before airplanes? So before they built airplanes, what did they build? Bicycles, trains, or boats? And this is something that we will see today, by the way. So before they started building an airplane, you cannot just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to build an airplane." You need to build something. You need to train before. Did they train on trains, on bicycles, or on boats? A. All right, let me reveal the answer. I'm going a little bit fast because I want to keep some more time for the other activities that we have today. We have a lot of activities today. It was A. So they built bicycles, right? They built bicycles right before they started building airplanes. All right, so this is the airplane that they built. This is the first airplane. This is one of the Wright brothers. You can see him right here. So this is the first airplane that they built, and this is the first airplane that flew in human history. So this is a historical moment, by the way. This is a very historical moment. And this is them. This is the Wright brothers. These are the two brothers who built the first airplane. You can see they are like holding very tight to the thing that to the machine that they built. And the other very interesting about these pictures is you can see the engine is sitting right. He is sitting right to the engine. He is sitting next to the engine. And that's very dangerous. I can tell you that. That's very dangerous. Like in today's standards, this is like very dangerous. It's like you're trying to end yourself. Yeah, that's very interesting. Like how safety measures also changed over time. You can see that there are some gears right here, and they are right next to the head, and they don't care. They don't care. Like it's just like we want to build this thing, and we will build it. So and they did. Yes. So before we go and start the live session or the listening session, I want to like share with you some vocabulary. This vocabulary you will see it in the listening. You will hear it in the listening. So let's hear it before. So tinkering, glider, mechanics, curious, lift. What do these words mean? Wanting to know and learn more, the way machines work, adjusting or fixing things in a casual way, the force that makes things go up, meaning rise, or flying machines without an engine. So, can you help me with this? You can write for me. Tinkering. Well, Pamela, the answers are right in front of you. Can you help me do that? 4 is A. Curious is A. Wanting to know and learn more. All right, I'm going to write it, and then we can check it later on. So, Ahsanul says, curious, someone who is curious is someone who wants to learn more. So, this is number 4. Ahsanul also says 2 is E. Glider, flying machine without an engine. All right, I'm going to trust your word for it. And I'm going to do it like this. E. Oh, I just wrote E. Okay, that's stupid. All right, we said this is number 4. So, curious. Okay, glider. You guys said flight. What else do you have to tell me? 1 is B. 4 is A. Pamela, you got it correct. 5 is D. 5 is lift. D, the force that makes things rise. 1 is B. Tinkering, adjusting, or the way machines work. 3 is B. Okay, you're changing. 3 is C. Mechanics is adjusting or fixing things in a casual way. 3 is C as well. Mechanics, adjusting. 1 is C. Tinkering is adjusting. All right. So I'm gonna share with you answers then. So tinkering. Tinkering is when you change things like in a casual way. So actually, number 1, let me erase this because I want to read from the beginning. So tinkering is C. So this is 1. So when you tinker with something, for example, I have a watch right here. This is my watch. So if I want to tinker with it, I will just like try to adjust it from here, like just casual, just trying, experimenting. So tinkering. I'm gonna like I'm modifying things inside of this watch. So I'm modifying them, right? I modify them. Glider. A glider is a flying machine that flies without any engine. It just glides on the air. It does not use an engine, it just glides. Mechanics is the way machine works. So this is number 3. If you are curious, you are wanting to learn more. So number A is 4. And finally, lift is the force that makes things go up. So lift is what pushes things up and make them fly. So D is 5. Pamela, is the word clear? Tinker. To tinker with something is to play with it to some extent. It's to play with the machine. All right. Let me show you a glider. So this is a glider, especially more specifically a paraglider. So this is a glider. You can see they are gliding with air. There is no engine here. There is no engine. It's just gliding with air. Yes. So we have seen the word curious in the word. So what is the difference between curious and nosy? Does anyone know? What's the difference between curious and nosy? What's the difference between them? Does anyone know what's the difference between curious and nosy? Because sometimes they mean the same thing, is you want to learn, but what's the difference between them then? Are they the same? Can we change them in the same sentence? What do you think? Nosy and curious. Anyone? If anyone has the answer for nosy and curious, I would love to see, I'd love to hear it. What is nosy? I mean, isn't here. I can take my time. Otherwise, yes. Exactly. Otherwise, yes. What is nosy? I have no clue. All right. So, curious is you want to learn, but it's positive. It's positive way. It's what children, for example, if you look at children, they will be asking a lot of questions. Hey, why is the sky blue? This is curious. Why is the sky blue? Hey, why are the trees green? Hey, how does this happen? Why is this like this? So this is curiosity, is you want to learn, but it's in a positive way. Nosy, on the other hand, Mr. Asanol, it comes from the word nose. All right, it comes from the word. The person is someone who also wants to learn, but it's negative. So, what's your wife's name? Hey, how much is your salary? Hey, how many rooms do you have in your house? Is this curiosity? Absolutely not. This is not wanting to learn. This is like putting your nose in other people's business. So this is why we call it nosy. So both of them, they mean wanting to learn, but one of them is positive, curiosity. This is what children have, or scientists have. Scientists, they tend to be very curious because they want to learn more. But nosy is someone who wants to learn what you do in your life. Hey, how much money do you have in your bank account? What's the name of your wife? How many children do you have? This is nosy, right? This is nosy. Do you have a nosy person in your life? Exactly. Showing too much curiosity, but in a bad way, especially about personal things. Like when someone starts asking you personal questions, he is being nosy, not curious. All right, wonderful. Great. So let's move on. Yes, can you help me fix these sentences with the words lift, glider, tinkering, curious, mechanics? Let me see if you understood them. Wilbur and Orville spent hours with machine, taking them apart and then rebuilding them again. What is the word I'm looking for here? A lot, yes. We all do. We all do, man. We all do. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are very nosy. They like to know a lot about your personal life. Hey, what is your job? Arsenal says one is tinkering, so I'm gonna move a little bit faster. Tinkering indeed. Yeah, so nosy is curious but in a bad way. Someone who wants to learn about your personal life. Like I said, how much is your salary? How much do you make a month? How many rooms do you have in your house? What is the job of your son? Asking you very personal questions. That's nosy. Glider. But a curious person is he wants to learn, but in a positive way. Yeah. So they tested a glider which floats. So a glider does not have an engine; it just floats and then it falls down. Curious? Yes. Okay. So I can see that you are using this advantage to your using this to your advantage that Amin is not here today. All right. So Arsenal is doing a great job today. Wonderful. So mechanics, and of course, we are left with one, which is lift. Their first attempt failed because they did not have enough lift. So there was no power to to push the airplane up. So now we are going to listen or read at the same time because you will be listening and reading at the same time. As always, 3 rules. Rule number 1, listen carefully. I'm going to ask you questions at the end. Number 2, ask if you don't understand. Number 3, click that like button and like this video. Or sleep with one eye open. This is my new motto. If you don't like this video, you need to sleep with one eye open. Sorry to tell you that. Great. So let's start listening and yeah, let's start. Let me just remove this. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Chapter 2. Tinkering and Troubles.
Yeah, exactly, SNL. Exactly. Let me see before we go ahead. Shouting and nosy, help me. I hear from people saying this is so much nosy. So nosy, Pamela is someone who likes to know, like who asks you personal question. Hey Pamela, how old are you? Don't answer this question, Pamela. I'm just being nosy, right? So I'm just showing you an example. Hey, how old are you? Hey, how much money does your husband make? Hey, where do you live exactly? How big is your house? This is nosy, Pamela. This is nosy, right? This is nosy. So nosy is someone who asks you a lot of personal questions. Okay, so chapter 2, tinkering and troubles. So
the Wright brothers were not like other boys. While others played games or went fishing, Wilbur and Orville spent hours tinkering. They took things apart, clocks, toys, even their father's tools, just to see how they worked.
So tinkering, as I said, is if I have this watch, so this is what the Wright brother used to do. And this is how they learned mechanics. So they would see this watch and then they will take it, they will open it, they will take all the parts away, and then they need to understand how it works. That's tinkering. That's tinkering.
Their hands were always busy. Their minds were always thinking. One day, they built a kite. It was small, just a simple frame with cloth stretched over it. But when the wind caught it, it soared. Wilbur and Orville watched with wide eyes. What if they could make something even bigger? What if they could build something that could carry a person? The idea stuck in their minds.
It was glued in there. It's like,
but before they could dream too big, they had work to do. They weren't rich. They had to make their own way in the world. So as teenagers, they started a newspaper business. With an old printing press, they printed news for the people of Dayton, Ohio. It was hard work, setting the type, inking the pages, rolling the press, but they loved it. Every day was a challenge. Every mistake was a lesson.
I really like this sentence. So every day was a challenge, every mistake was a lesson. I really love this sentence. It's a really inspiring sentence.
Then life changed. Their mother, Susan Wright, became sick.
And we said
She
that
had always been their biggest supporter.
exactly.
She taught them how to use tools. She encouraged them to be curious. But now, she was too weak to leave her bed. Wilbur spent days by her side, reading to her, holding her hand. Orville tried to stay strong, but inside, he was scared. And then, she was gone.
Unfortunately.
The house felt empty without her. Wilbur became quiet. He stopped playing, stopped laughing. He even stopped making things. Orville felt lost. Their world had changed, and for the first time, they didn't know what to do. But time passed. Slowly, the brothers found their way back to their old habits. Their hands needed to build. Their minds needed to create. They started fixing bicycles, turning it into a small business. Bicycles were everywhere in the 1890s. People needed repairs. The Wright brothers were good at it. And then, an idea. A bicycle is just a machine. It moves. It balances. It stays in the air for a moment when you jump. Wilbur and Orville looked at each other. If we can balance a bicycle, Wilbur said, why not a flying machine? Their excitement returned. The spark was back. But could they really do it? Could two bicycle mechanics figure out something that scientists had failed to solve? The world didn't believe it, but the Wright brothers didn't care. They were ready to try. Chapter 3. From Bicycles to the Sky. The streets of Dayton, Ohio were filled with bicycles.
So today we are going to listen to two chapters, chapter 2 and chapter
Men
3.
in suits, women in long skirts, even young boys, everyone was riding. Bicycles were fast, exciting, and new. People needed repairs, and the Wright brothers had a plan. Their small bicycle shop became a success. They fixed broken wheels, tightened chains, and sold the best models. Customers trusted them. Wilbur and Orville were not just good mechanics. They were problem solvers. But as they worked, another idea grew in their minds. A bicycle moves forward. A bicycle stays balanced. A bicycle gives freedom. One evening, Wilbur wiped his hands on a cloth and looked at Orville. If we can balance a bicycle, he said, why not a flying machine? Orville stopped, thinking. No one had ever done it before. People had tried. They had built gliders, wings, and giant machines.
Exactly. So people before have tried to fly, all right? So a lot of people have built, oopsie, Oh wait. All right. I think I moved too much. All right. All right. Unfortunately, I touched something and it. Yeah. Right. Oops. Yeah. All right. Yes. So as I said, there were people
Orville
before the time.
stopped, thinking. No one had ever done it before. People had tried.
Exactly.
They had built gliders, wings, and giant machines,
All right.
but they always crashed.
Yes.
Some said flight was impossible. Others believed only birds were meant to fly. The Wright brothers disagreed. At night, they read books about flight. They studied birds, watching how they turned their wings. They experimented with small models, testing ideas. Their bicycle shop became more than a business. It became a workshop for dreams. They built a wind tunnel, a small wooden box with a fan. It helped them test wing shapes. They made tiny wings and watched how the air moved over them. They wrote notes, made calculations, and adjusted their designs. But it wasn't enough. They needed to go bigger. In 1899, Wilbur wrote a letter to the Smithsonian Institution asking for the latest research on flight. Scientists had studied flying machines for years, but none had succeeded. The information was useful, but the Wright brothers had new ideas. They believed control was the key. If they could control a flying machine the way a rider controls a bicycle, they could succeed where others had failed. They built a glider, light, with curved wings. They took it to a field and held their breath. Would it fly? A strong wind blew. Wilbur ran forward, lifting the glider. For a moment, it floated, then fell. Not enough lift, not enough balance.
Right. So not enough lift, meaning not enough force to make it leave the ground.
Failure. They tried again and again. Every test taught them something new. They changed the wings. They changed the controls. Slowly, the glider stayed in the air longer. It moved more smoothly. It began to feel right. But a glider wasn't enough. They needed power. They needed an engine. Could two self-taught bicycle mechanics really build an airplane? The world would soon find out.
That was the listening for today. So we are in chapter 4. But chapter 4, I think, is worth listening to. So I'm just going to let you listen to it on your own time. So the video is 1 hour, 17 minutes. We listened to 16 minutes of it. So maybe I'm going to let it to you or leave it to you to listen to the rest of the story. It's an amazing, inspiring one. Right now, true or false? Are these statements true or false from the text you guys were listening to? Let me see if you were paying attention or you were just like thinking about something else. So let me see what you guys can have to say. Uh, so, the Wright brothers preferred playing games to working. Is this true or is this false from the text we have just listened to? A huge false. All right. What about the others? What do you guys think? The Wright brothers who built the first airplane, were they just playing or did they prefer working? Which one do you think? So here it says prefer playing games to working. All right. I'm going to share the answer. It's false. And from the text, it says they spend time tinkering instead of playing. They spend their time playing with machines and trying and experimenting rather than playing. Their mother inspired their interest in building. Is this true or is this false? From the text again. So their mother, they were going doing business in my age. Well, even younger actually. They were quite young when they started. Well, yeah, it's yeah. So Asanos says this is true. What about the rest of you guys? Pamela, true or false? Not A. True or false? So is it true or false, Pamela? You mean true. So it is true indeed. They thought, or she taught them to use tools and to be curious. Next one. Their first business was repairing airplanes. Their first business, the business they started with, was repairing airplanes. What do you guys think? I think this one is quite clear if this is true or false. True. No, no answer yet. False. All right, false and false. True. All right. False. Yeah. All right. So basically, they started with a newspaper, then bicycles, because they were the first people to make an airplane. So of course they were not repairing airplanes because they made them. Their first flying machine was successful immediately. Is this true or is this false? So the first machine that they built to fly was successful immediately, like from the first attempt. Mhm. False, 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 false. All right, yes. It, the glider, because they built in the beginning, they built a glider. It was just an airplane, but it didn't have any engine in it, and it flew, but it crashed after some time. The Wright brothers tested wing shapes in a tunnel, so to see which wing shapes will work for them, they built like a little tunnel. Is this true or is this false? False, false, false. All right. Interesting. Well, actually, this is true. They built a wind tunnel to study the movement. Let me show you the wind tunnel. I don't know. Where is it? I had it somewhere. But anyways, okay, I'm going to show it to you later on. Multiple choices. So, what did they build before airplanes? A car, a kite, or a motorbike? A, B, or C? So for people who who are stopping by, this is WooEnglish, a channel dedicated to learning English through stories. Basically, what we do is we believe that learning English should happen in a certain context. The best context, we believe, is stories, because when you are reading a story, you are engaged, and at the same time, you are internalizing some vocabulary. So we are mixing two things. We are mixing the enjoyment that you get from stories, and we mix it with learning English. So that's the idea of English. And yeah, so today we are having a live stream. It's a listening live stream. B. All right, it is B indeed. Yes. Number 2, what do you read at night? Flight books, poetry books, adventure books. Mhm. All right. So the answer is A, of course, flight books. So at the time, there were some books studying like flights and how birds fly, but there were no books on how to fly because they were the first people to do it. What business made them successful? Trains, newspapers, bicycles. C. Athanol says this is C. The right answer is C. Okay. I want to move on a little bit. So it's C indeed, yes. In the beginning, they started with newspaper, but the most successful one was bicycles. What did they use to test wings? Was it a wind tunnel, a water tank, or balloons? Mhm. All right, you said wind tunnel, and now I'm going to show you wind tunnel. So this is a wind tunnel. So basically, it's a box made out of wind, right? So it's wind comes out of here. So basically, what happens is that you bring like your airplane there, and it's like it's in the sky. So it's like you're imitating or you are simulating what happens in real life. So it's just this is what basically they use. Let's use this as the last one. Why did early flying machines fail? Weak engines, no control, or heavy weight? Because there were some attempts before them, but why did they fail? Weak engines, no control, heavy weight. B, no control. Snow says no control. B, all right. What do you guys think? Why did the earliest models of airplanes fail? They were not successful. A, says Pamela, because they had weak engines. So for Pamela, it's A. C. Gilberto says it's B also, no control. All right, these are some of your answers. Well, it was actually B because of lack of control. Because Imagine this is an airplane. If you don't have control, it will just like keep playing in the air. So you will not have any control. So yeah, that's basically why they were not successful. I think I'm gonna jump. Yes. So the next one. So now we will do like 2 or 3 language activities. So I have for you 5 sentences, but the problem is that they are not in order, and I want you guys to make them in order. Built a wind tunnel, Wright brothers. Machines control flight needed successful to be. Tested their different science brothers. Failure part learning was off. And shop bicycle, there a was workshop. So these are like some random words. I wanted to make sentences out of them. Can you help me with that? All right, I can already see an answer. The Wright brothers built a wind tunnel. Mhm. I'm going to give the others a little bit of time. Yeah, all right. So, the Wright brothers, okay. I was waiting for another answer for me. Yes, the Wright brothers built a wind tunnel. Number 2, machines control flight needed successful to be. Arsenal says flight machines needed control to be successful. Very, very good, I think. The Wright brothers built a wind tunnel. I think this was for the first one. All right. All right, we're going to reveal the second one. Flight machines needed control to be successful. Arsenal was correct again. All right, let me see what Arsenal says for C for the third one. Arsenal says the brothers tasted their design. Did they taste it? Did they taste it in their mouth? That's what taste is. To taste something is to to eat it, to like see the taste, to see if it's delicious. So they made the design, and then this is if this is the design, they tasted it, right? They tried it. All right, it's tested. It's tested, Arsenal. It's tested, not tasted. Taste is to taste with your tongue. Yes, failure was part of learning, absolutely. And the last one. Last one. Come on, I see more people watching, so you guys need to try. If you want to learn some English, so you need to try this. The brothers tested their design in different. Yes. Their design different. They're different designs. Either there was a bicycle shop. No, no. Let's see. Their bicycle shop was a workshop. Yes, so their bicycle shop was a workshop. All right, I'm gonna skip this one and this one as well. So let's go to the discussion directly. So this is the last part of this live stream, which is discussion. And in the discussion, I want to ask you a question. So we listened to the Wright brothers story. And the Wright brothers never gave up. So they failed a lot of times. Their mother died. They never gave up, basically. So, what is one thing? I want to see what you guys failed at, but you kept trying. What is one thing you have worked hard to achieve, and how did you overcome challenges? Again, what is one thing you have worked hard to achieve? Did you achieve it, and what are some of the challenges that you faced? Arsenal is laughing. I don't know why. Is it because of the tasted one? So, what is one thing that you worked hard to achieve? Did you achieve it? And what were some of the challenges that you faced? I think this is memorizing the entire Quran. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And did you succeed in that? I started doing that like a long time ago, like 10 years ago or so, but I did not succeed. I did not succeed, unfortunately. Oh wow, man! Brilliant, brilliant. That's amazing. And what were some of the challenges that you faced? So for people who are just joining, welcome and congratulations. You are joining at the really end of this live stream. Or we have just like 5 or 6 minutes left. But if there is a little more interaction, I would love. I would stay like some more. The question is, what is one thing that you have worked very hard to achieve in your life? Did you achieve it? And what were some of the challenges that you faced? It was very hard thing to do. Not gonna exactly. I tried that and it's very difficult. But I think it was worth it. Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I was forgetting a lot while memorizing exactly, and especially there are some verses that are very like they resemble each other. By the way, let me ask you a question, Ahsanul. Did you memorize it in Arabic or in English? In Arabic, I think mostly. To focus on your goals until you achieve. Uh, uh, can you give us an example, Pamela? Like, give me something that you were working. I'm not being nosy, by the way. I'm not being nosy. What is something that you worked hard to achieve, and did you achieve it? Exactly, exactly, exactly. متشابهات, yes, exactly. It's like verses that are very similar to each other in Arabic. Well, congratulations, man. Do you speak Arabic or just the Quran? But yeah, I'm jealous of you, man. I'm jealous of you. So you are doing boxing, you are memorizing the Quran. You are doing a fantastic job, it seems. Yes. So what about the rest of you guys? Let me see. What is one thing that you worked hard to achieve? For me, I think it was getting my master's degree. I think that was one thing. I do not want to learn Arabic, a beautiful language. Great, great, man. Wonderful. So you speak English, you speak probably Bengali, and now you want to speak Arabic as well. You are a polyglot. So for me, the thing that I wanted to achieve was getting my master's degree. Did I achieve it? Yes, I did achieve it. What were some of the challenges that I faced? Well, it was very stressful. That was one of the like the worst thing about the master's degree. Very successful, very stressful. Yeah, hated that. All right. Any more answers? Come on, come on. I speak three languages fluently, and English is not one of them. You do speak English so well. Like from I've never heard you speak, but from the writings, like you're doing a great job. To be honest, you're doing a great job. Well, I think with that, guys, we come to the end of the live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go to the channel, and don't forget, of course, to visit our website wooenglish.com. Uh, And it's right here, wooenglish.com, where you will find downloadable PDFs that you can get for free on your device. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you on next week. Have a great